I had a chat yesterday about the housing and rental crisis with the REIQ CEO Antonia Mercarella, and it seems like traditional methods may not be working for us. So what's a different way we can fix this housing crisis? I'm open to anything. I reckon no idea is a bad idea. One person who will be able to tell us is Steve Chandler, who is a building and property development expert and managing director of Lefter. Steve's on the line. Steve, tell us what you think the unconventional answer is to this housing crisis.
Oh, the good old-fashioned granny flat in the backyard.
There you go. I'm with you 100% on this, although how do we do it, Steve? Because our blocks are getting smaller and smaller, mate.
Yeah, we've got a little bit of a problem there. Look, if looking at statistics, and this is sort of what went through my head, a little while ago on this thing. Everyone's talking about tiny homes and being able to provide really cost-effective stuff. In Australia, with the census back in 2021, it said that we had 7.6 million freestanding houses in Australia. The National Housing Accord from 18 months, 2 years ago, says that they want to build 1.2 million houses, over the next 5 years.
Yeah.
And we got 3 odd years to go of that, and that's 250,000 a year. Now we're nowhere near being able to deliver the National Housing Accord. It's just not going to happen.
No,
unless we look at doing something that's readily easy, readily achievable, that's simple, that's quick. And what could be faster than having a sort of a 50 to 80 square metre, freestanding little home go into the backyard of some houses in Australia. So if the Housing Accord, National Housing Accord, said they want 1.2 million homes, if in 2021 we had 7.6 million, we could achieve that with 1 in 6 homes being able to do that.
Yeah,
talking about, it's not big bucks.
No, it's not. But so what would that say? Let's say you've got the space in your backyard to be able to do this, and I love it, mate. I think it's great. It's something you can just drop in, probably in a month's time. Just drop it in and rent it out. A, it helps you with your cost of living crisis. B, someone gets a decent place to live in. What would the cost to build a granny flat be nowadays?
Yeah, again, it varies. It's really, really big. But, from, let's say, somewhere between 100 and 150,000 bucks, 200 if you want the Taj Mahal, or if you've got a really difficult, real estate property. But, again, from a sensible perspective, let's say it's 150 grand.
Yeah.
Rents are so expensive nowadays that you're going to get a good return on your rent. You don't have to buy the land because you already own it.
Yeah.
So, I just think if you have a look at it and you approach it sensibly and not do the Taj Mahal sort of in the backyard, then you got a good chance of resolving, an income for yourselves.
Yep.
And if you've owned your home for quite a while, you can borrow against the value of your home to pay for it. So you're not actually, shelling out a savings. You can borrow against it. The value of your home goes up because if you ever sell, you've got a house plus income. Yeah,
mate, I think it's a brilliant idea, and it's something that I guess landowners should be encouraged to do, and maybe there's a subsidy from the government, because they're allowing about, I think, $500,000 to build these homes in the Future Fund. Well, some of them are blowing out to 1.3, which I find is just ridiculous. This is a wonderful way. Maybe you can get, I don't know, that maybe an interest-free loan off the government to help ease the housing crisis. And you're right, you got some revenue coming in. And I see in the census in 2021, it revealed there are over 7.5 million freestanding houses, and only 1 in 6 built something in their backyard. So there's so much upscale there, uptake that could could help this.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. And, look, the government's talking about prefabricated homes, modular homes.
Yeah.
And this sort of thing, a granny flat in the backyard, is ideal for modular, where they build it in a factory, bring it out on the back of a truck,
drop it in,
crane it off, and
Yeah.
boom, there it is. Connect the services and done. It sort of meets every parameter of what the government's looking for.
Have you reached out to the government on this, mate? Have you had any sort of response, or have you thrown this up a flagpole at all?
No, I've started to put it out into the media, and one of the things that I think with all of this stuff, when you put something into the media and you start to talk about it, that's how it gains the momentum.
Yeah.
Someone's listening to the broadcast and they go, that's a great idea. They might be connected in with government, etc. That's how you get that momentum to build. You just got to get out there and start talking about it.
And we're not talking about a long-term, solution for the housing crisis, but geez, it could help a lot of single people and maybe couples who go, you know what, I don't need all this space. I don't need all this land. I just need somewhere safe to live. And I get it.
Yeah, well, think of this too. If you've got if you're in the older generation and you've got, kids that are in their early 20s that they want to move out of home, normally they would go out into the open market and, rent a property, which means that, they're off somewhere else. You could give them this backyard granny flat for them to live in so you can keep your kids close to home and, help them out. And, most parents want to do that. And it frees up that property out in the open market for somebody else who needs it.
Yeah, no, mate, I love everything about this. I hope you get some traction on this. Just the only problem is, and we need to keep council away from this because it's a good idea. We know most councils don't like good ideas that don't come from them. And Pat's hit the nail on the head here. He says, as soon as people start doing this, councils would charge you more rates.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Well, when you think about it, the valuer general will go, hey, your property is worth more because, house and income. That will increase the value of the property and therefore, the councils will start charging you rates. Yeah, they never miss out. The government never, ever misses out.
And I'm not even including here, Steve, the red tape they'll put around it as well, So, but that's not for me to worry about. That's for people like yourself to worry about. Steve Chandler, building and property development expert. Mate, I love the idea. Let's hope it gets some traction. Thanks for joining us on 4BC Mornings.